Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. Welcome into this afternoon's live. Right, I have got a Liam down by my legs. I will sort something out for him later maybe, so he can jump up and say hello. Are you going to do a quick hello? There we go. Hello everybody. Right, down you get now then. Down you get. Thank you. So there we go. Right, let's just give him a treat and hopefully he'll disappear. Right, so let's see how we're doing on chat today. Let's pop that one out. And downsize that. Right, so before we start today, let's do a little bit of a cheeky channel admin. Thanks, Reggie. I'm nicking your phrase. Right, speaking of our gorgeous Reggie, for today, until I think it's Saturday evening, myself, Reggie at J-Hook Crochet, and our gorgeous Kath from Kath's Eyecatchers are all running a 15% discount code where you need to use the phrase, all in capital letters, all squished together, Hooker's Holiday. How cool is that? It's a really cheeky code for a really lovely little discount run over the 3 different shops. Now, of course, mine is the Ravelry. It's linked in the description box down below. Kath's is also there, which is our Etsy shop, and of course Reggie's Etsy shop is there as well. And there are also links in the description box to the girls' channels as well, so they would love for you to pop over and have a nose through their videos and join in on their lives as well. And speaking of Kath, she has sneaked in. Hi Kath, welcome in, darling. So what are you up to today, girl? I've just got back from the school run, thought I had an extra 25 minutes and then realised I didn't. Guess who put the wrong time on a start? I was like, I've got enough time to do a bit of recording and finish off the 12 days of Christmas. And then I looked and went, nah, no time at all. So I pop in to see you and see if any other crazies tip up. Yes, I know you're here. I know you love me. And I've left the bag open, haven't I? Right. See that? Get out. Go find it. I'll keep him going. It's landed behind the door. Oh dear. Right, so Kath, what are you up to today, darling? Right, this jumper is going to do your head in. I'm going to be pulling it constantly because I'm only wearing a vest top underneath, so I don't need to be flashing, do I? Oh, Kath, that sounds like a lovely idea. Kath is saying that she is just taking a nap, laugh out loud, between doing the housework. And she's also saying hello to you too. Liam, have you found it? Have you found it yet? He is literally sneaking behind the door trying to find it. He'll get there. There's going to be something that falls over in a second. He'll jump out of his skin and then run back to me. Oh dear. Right, so I'm just trying to think, what are we up to? Dodo's in the house. Oh, welcome in, Dodo. She's saying she's here. She's just making lunch. If you hear some random scratching, that's because I just chucked a treat on the other side of the room and it's gone behind the door. So Liam is now spending 5 minutes trying to work out how to get to it. So Dodo is in. She's saying she's in. She's just making lunch. Handmaid is in the house as well with her hello, Angela. And Dodo saying hi to you. Hello to you. And hi, HD. Handmaid is in after a long time. Yeah, we haven't seen you for a little bit, babe. It's nice to have you back. And Kathy's saying it keeps him busy. Yes, but he's now going to be a nosy. Have you found it? No, he's found it. He's licking his lips. So, Liam, come here. Up. Up. All the way. Up. This one's from Kath. All right? That's from Kath. So say thank you. No, he's like, I'll see who else says give him a treat. So Kathy's saying hi to Dodo and hi to HD. So Dodo, HD, what you girls have been up to? Are you making anything cool at the moment, or are you just chilling out and scoffing your lunch, your dinner or your brekkie while we have a chin mic here, or a chat, depending on what you want to call it? I just realised I've left my overhead light off. It's quite bright in here. I'm quite chuffed. If it starts getting dark, tell me and I'll turn the light on. So HD, oh yes, you was moving, wasn't you? Did the move go okay? Did you manage to get everything into the new place? She says that she's in another country now. Her parents' place is not in the USA. So go on then. Wherever you sneaked off to, what country are you in now? Is it close by the USA, or was it a bit of a travel and a flight? This nosy girl wants to know. Alright, so what have I been up to this morning? Okay, so for this morning, of course, I was saying a few moments ago, I have been recording day 11 and day 12's 12 Days of Christmas. Because, of course, they're the last two. They'll be going out later on this week, which gives me a little bit more time to tweak them and to finish off the items that I want to show in the videos. So hopefully I'll have those done. Oh, sorry, Liam, I didn't mean to tap your foot then. Yeah, so when I got back from the school run, postie had been, so I've actually got a Christmas card from somebody, so that's why it's a new edit. So I'm going to have to swap this jumper out, put my Christmas one on, put the hat that I made using Reggie's pattern back on my head, and then record opening the next the card to add into one of the two videos I've got left to go. You like the stocking? This one is one of our gorgeous Reggie at J Hook Crochet's patterns. Oh God, cleavage. Sorry, it's one of our gorgeous Reggie at J Hook's patterns, and it is available over on her Ravelry shop. It's really reasonably priced and a beautiful pattern to work. Hers is a 3-colour combo, whereas I've only done the 2 because I only had 2 different shades of Aran weight yarn, because that's what it calls for, an Aran weight. I only had 2 different shades. Well, I did have a green, but the green is a really, really dark green, and it didn't work at all with the purple. I'm just trying to think. I haven't actually got a green similar to hand. No, I haven't got a green similar, and it's over there somewhere. It's only bright for a few minutes though, Kath. Right, Kath is saying, I'm lucky to have a bright day. It's very gloomy here. It's been vile all week. Overcast all week, and at the moment we've got a lot of cloud, but a tiny bit of sun sort of bouncing here, there and everywhere, so it's making everything a lot brighter. And this camera copes really well in low level light, just not sort of anything after about 4:30 in the evening. Once there's no light, it's like stick the light bulb on and blow out everything, and everything's too bright. At some point I'm planning to get the rings and all the rest of it, but I'm dreading that, because as soon as that goes up, it'll be a make a video, have a migraine. Because I'm like, I get like sensitive migraines. No, that is true. I'm not doing a nipple gate, am I? Kathy's saying there's nothing wrong with cleavage. I'm not doing a nipple gate. No, I'm not, but you never know who's watching. But then saying that, no, like if some rando comes on, like they did yesterday, of all things. After you left, Kath, we got trolls. We had 3 that I had to work out how to knock on the head. 3 of them. It was as if they were waiting for you to leg it, girl. No, nobody said give you a treat. No one said it yet. Those eyes are not working on me. It's alright, Liam's still down here nudging me every few seconds. Oh, you're not down there anymore, you're up now. You're only after treats. I find the ring light being reasonably soft light. I think it will depend on the make and all the rest of it. I've actually got a soft box somewhere. That I used to, yes, I know that's where the treats are. That sorry, I have a light box that I used to use for photography. Really strange, isn't it? It's like, yeah, I love photography behind the camera, behind the flash, not with it in my face. I was fine. So I might have to dig that out. Oi, stop it. Yeah, I might have to dig that out and pop that up and see how that works. Because that wasn't a bad bright light, as long as I put the front cover on the softbox. But it's a good few years old. Yes, there's treats. This is what he's after. Oh look, now he's sitting down perfectly. Right, so this one, mister, sit your bum. It's from Dodo. Alright, there you go. Stop bugging me. All gone. All gone. He knows I'm lying. Right, why are you apologising, Kath? Don't worry about it. Right, Kathy's saying, but look at the cute face. Yes, you know Liam too well. He is a sneaky, cheeky toe rag. Hold on. Right. Let me sort some stuff out. I was going through my boxes of items that I've made over the last 2 years. Because I thought, you know what? Oh, I'm going to give me mum one of the hats that I've made, because she's always making the grandkids hats. She knits them, and she's always making the grandkids hats, and some of the grandkids are like, Nan, please don't, we don't like them. But please don't. Like, once they get to like 12, 13, they don't want to wear them. No, that's not going to work, Liam. So give me 2 seconds, gang. Move out the way. Out the way. We will bring your box in. Out the way, out the way, out the way, out the way. Out the way, out the way, out the way, out the way. Definitely proves that I wasn't ready. Oh, apologies for the bottom shot. Right. Ready? Right, now your co-presenting chair is here. If you want to come up, come up. Right, okay. So, sorry, I've got a long box that I was using the other day, actually, to film a video with him in. And he seems to have taken to it, but it takes him a while to remember he has to get up on it and sit on it. Not like that. Do it properly. Right, so where was I? Yeah, my mum's hat. So I was going through the box trying to find one that I liked. Because, of course, over the last few years, I've made quite a few. So I was like, right, do I help the kids get Nan back by sending her an awful hat? Which is basically one of the ones, I've made one, and it was made on the Centro. And on one you can fold it either way. So one side's sort of blues and greens and is quite pleasant. But if you fold it the other way, it blows out the camera because it's bright yellow and bright orange and awful. Okay, it is a vile. It's a vomit shop of a hat. And I thought, well, if I stick a god awful pom pom on that as well, I could send that over saying, from the grandkids, we're getting you back. But then I thought, well, would she actually use it? And the answer is no. So then I had a look through the other hat sets and things that I've made over the years, and I'm like, well, would she like that colourway? Nope. Would she like this colourway? Nope. Would she like this colourway? Nope. And I haven't actually got anything. Nothing in a colourway that she would like. So now is this a case of, do I try and whip something up quick over the next 12 hours, sort of when the live finishes, or do I give up for this year and attempt to give her something next year? Now, last year she got a really gorgeous jumper that I'd made. I call it gorgeous because I like it, and I'm hoping she rewraps it and sends it back to me this year, because she did that last year. She sent me a present from the year before that I'd given her. I'm not sure if she realised it was mine or whether she read the tag that said, if you don't like it, give it back next year, because I do that. I stick a tag on saying, if you don't like it, give it back next year. So she'd done that last year, so I'm hoping I get that this year, and I'm hoping I get that jumper back this year. It was I'm trying to think, the one I made for her was the boyfriend jumper with fake cabling. And basically, as you're working along, you make a chain, and then you thread the chains into each other, and that's how it builds up the cable. It looked really, really effective, and it was really easy to do. So now I'm going to have to stick that in the description box later. So I best take a note, just in case you guys want to go and have a nose at it later, or even follow it. I can't believe I just remembered that, because that was like a year and a bit ago. So, hey, brains are working for a year and a bit ago. Cleavage. Kath, yes, you... Oh, sorry, I've missed a couple of comments there. We've got anything for food. Mine is still the same. Yes, that is cheeky. He's halfway up. He's got half his body up, but he hasn't got his bum up yet. Let me think. Barbara's in. Welcome in, darling. She is here from her little corner of Kentucky. And then Kath saying, didn't want to show off my cleavage, but I'm happy to show off my bum. Well, yeah, it's covered. The cleavage wasn't. And Barbie's saying she's glad that she's not the only one that has to show her fur baby empty hands. Well, it's a good way. It's a good thing to do, isn't it? I used to do it with kids as well. I used to be like, there is no chocolate, don't know what you're talking about. Wait for him to turn and then jump. I was quite lucky, actually. My kids were lactose intolerant as children, so they couldn't eat chocolate. So if anybody gave them chocolate, I had to swap it out for something that they liked. Normally a pallet of strawberries or grapes or something like that. I would swap out the chocolate floor and then I would get their chocolate. But then when they got to about 7 or 8 years old, the effects weren't as bad, so it meant that they could sneak a bar of chocolate. So if they got some chocolate, I didn't get it anymore. We just had to ration it out over a good few days. Right, Liam, up, come on, fully up, all the way, all the way, all the way. Come on. Come on. See? There you go. Nice and easy now. Now you remember you can sit on this one. I tried it with the smaller boxes and I've tried it with a chair. And both times his bum hangs off and he's like, no, I don't feel safe. Whereas this time round, it's a nice long box. So he's got double butt space, haven't you? It's like having 2 chairs. Double butt space. I don't even know if you're actually on camera, mister. Oh, yeah, you are. Right, I've got this on my shoulder. You're going to leave it. I'm going to leave it. Let's see how long I can get him to do it for. I am slightly evil. Go on then. Go on then. Go on then. Yeah, okay, thanks for taking the jumper with you. We won't do that one again. Oh, dear. Right, so let's see what we got. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that has to show her fur baby empty hands. You know there's none in the hands. You know they're in the bag. And you now know there's none on the shoulder. There we go, I'll get that bit fur off for you. Hey, hey, Kaz is in the house. Oh, welcome back in, darling. Did I get the keyboard sorted? Yeah, I had to unplug it. It stopped working, which was why at the end of the chat I couldn't do my normal bit where I end up responding to a couple of comments that I missed. Normally I do that, don't I, at the end of the live. So instead I've now got this one. And yes, that is lights in it, and yes, they are very bright, and yes, it is doing my head in already. So it's a case of don't look down at the keyboard. So if I am typing, there's a good few spelling mistakes I have to go back and correct, but I can use the mouse for that and look at the mouse. I don't have to look at the keyboard. Oh no, Leary! Welcome in, darling. Right, so I keep saying, I don't use your first name, do I? I call you O'Leary. But O'Leary is in the house and she's saying, oh, you're early. Her alarm hasn't gone off yet. I'm trying to remember, whereabouts were you from? Because yesterday was your first time in, wasn't it? Liam, stop it. Liam. Put on the Reggie hat. Are you how still can I get him? Oh no, we're not having it, are you? All right, so I picked on you. Yes, you can have another one. And so yeah, sorry, my sidekick keeps distracting me, doesn't he? Right, so wait. Leary saying her alarm hasn't gone off yet. So what country are you in, darling? And she's also saying hello to all a little bit further down in the chat. Yep, and he was just staring at that chat, and he is now just staring at the bag that I've put in front of the screen, so it looks like he's paying you guys attention. I am so bad to him. Oh dear. Right, so where have we gone? Kathy said hi to Kaz. Dodo is saying hi to Smirnoff, and Smirnoff is saying hi to oh crikey, there was more messages. I'm sorry. And Kaz is saying Lim is so cute. Look at that gorgeous face. Are you hearing this? No, I'm not interested for the second. Stay. Right. Sorry, I'll just move him over a little bit. I was all happy that I was going to get a regular simple keyboard. That is right, Kath. That's what Kath has just written, by the way. Now this to me is a regular, simple, boring keyboard. Okay, this is what I like. This is what I prefer. Bye. Just for the sheer fact is there's no lights, there's no clonking, there's no this, there's no that. Okay, but by all accounts, hubby says they don't make them boring ones anymore. In other words, he doesn't order them because it's not something that his customers request. So he said to me quite a while ago, I'll replace that keyboard for you. I'll get you one from work. And I was like, all right, lovely, thank you. Please, no bells, whistles and lights. Don't need it. And he came back with this one. And I'm like, that's got lights on it. So which is why I hadn't been using it. I just left it to one side. I think my daughter's about to take Liam out. Are you off for a walk, girl? Yep. Cheers, darling. Oh, door's been done. Oh no. I've actually got the ring of death. Why have I got the ring of death? No, not the ring of death. Paste. Hopefully it's still working for you lot. Am I back to normal now? Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Right, okay, so fingers crossed it's all working. It appears that my ring of death is not back on the other screen. I don't quite know if it's playing catch up or what. So fingers crossed it's okay. Our first question out to bat today. Now remember, this is for a winners only pattern. If you already have all 7 of them, can you please just tell me to roll it on and we'll add another question up. Right, so our very first question is, in Morse code, that's the dot dot dash dash dot dot dash 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 thing. In Morse code, which letter is represented by a single dot? That is, in Morse code, which letter is represented by a single dot? And now I'm talking so I can put it up. Right, so while you guys are having a guess at that, I'm gonna have to think of something else to talk about, aren't I? Right, okay, so most of you were here last night, weren't you? So you've seen these 2 little cheeky critters, or you've seen these guys because I showed them to you last night, I hope. I've got to go back on to Instagram now and find out what the new one is, because that is actually due to be released today. So I need to see what it is, so I see if I've got the colours to make it. Let's have a quick nose. Let's have a quick nose. Have they released it? I just do not know. It will take a little while. What is going on with my chat? Let's swap that round. Let's see if just by swapping it works. Aha! There we go. Yes, I've got loads of comments here. Guess who had it on the wrong setting? And Smirnoff is saying that my dodgy keyboard is fighting back technology revenge. Very much for me. That'll teach me for drinking. It was only water as well, so hopefully it will dry out and I'll be able to use the old one again. But that will teach me for having a glass too close to the keyboard. Aha, so I'm back. Dodo saying woohoo, back, don't know about normal. I've never been normal. That's an insult calling me normal. Right, so and now we have got our answers. Thank you very much for hitting that one, Kath. They're on it again, aren't they? Right, so the question was, in Morse code, which letter is represented by a single dot? So let's get rid of that so I know where the questions are. Okay. And for bonus brownie points, can you tell me what millimeter would it be in a crochet hook? Haha. I'm going to have to look at that myself now. Because that's right, it is a crochet hook letter. Okay. So it's just bonus brownie bragging points, that last bit. Alright, so we have got the ball play guy in. Welcome in, darling. How you doing today? And David's back in as well. Welcome in, darling. Make sure you boys have a go at that comment question as well. They are for corner to corner patterns, which are either through the Dismay, or the Marvellous range, which are basically patterns that I made up that I can't flog. Because of copyright, but I can give them to you, you can make them up, and you can send me a picture. And you can sell them. How strange is that? I'm not allowed to sell my work, but you can sell yours. Just be careful where you sell it, mind. Right, so we got Dodo in. Hold on, who's in with the answers first? We've got Smirnoff with an A, Kaz with an A, Kath with an A. No, not A's, gang. We got a Dodo with an E. We got a Kaz with an E. So, then we got some people saying hi to David and Daniel. And then we got a good day, fellas, from Kaz. Kath, what was it? Popeye is saying hi to Kath. So, Smirnoff is saying no, A is a dash, not a dot. Okay, yeah, so we do actually have a correct answer quite early on. Sorry, I was playing a catch up and trying to do stuff, wasn't I? Right, so our very first winner today is our cheeky Dodo with the letter E. So that is, in fact, our first dot. First letter that is represented by a single dot. And now let's scan down and see who has got the bonus brownie bragging points. I shouldn't call it that, should I? Okay, so the E, according to my chart here on my case, which I know me is probably wrong, is a pink hook in my case, and it is a 3.5mm. So let's see, did any of you get close? We have Kaz coming in at 3. And we've got a Kath in with the 3.5. You got yourself bragging rights, honey. Right. If it's fine, you can still join in and answer the questions, guys and girls. I can now say that instead of girls and where are the guys hiding? You can still join in. If you don't want the pattern, that is perfectly fine. You're not going to upset me or offend me. You just shout, roll it on. Half the time, by the end of the month, nobody needs it. Everybody's got it. So it's a constant, let's keep rolling until someone manages to catch it. So yeah, let's have a look. What else have you guys been saying? And Kath is saying, yes, a Chinese name, but Portuguese this time. Oof, strangers. Strange ones they are. So Dave is saying he's far too busy making his own patterns to work on anyone else's, which is why I said the bit about if you don't want it, don't worry, you can just still join in. And then David says he thinks that Daniel had created something nice with his Alice shawl pattern. That's cool. Sorry, it's not Alice, is it? Elisa? I think. I'm sorry about mispronouncing it, darling. Everyone can read it above. And the chat will be up when it goes into replay as well. So everybody is congratulating Dodo. Dodo is saying roll it. Kath is saying that the 3.5 is her most used hook. Yeah, but does it look like my most used hook? I've had to order myself a new set because this one is my 4.5, but I've got a 4.5 and the 4 are my two most used hooks. Now this is my 4.5, which looks okay, doesn't it, on one side. The other side is slightly worn. My other hook, which is the blue, which I don't quite know where it's hiding, it was on the table last night before we had Floodgate. But I have actually worn all of the blue off on this section down here and on here as well, so every time I use it my fingers actually stick to the placement. It doesn't matter how much I wash it, it's still sticky. So yeah, I've had to order another set, so that's now two lots of hooks I've got up there, the same set and one on the way. So yeah, that's how I can tell which ones are my most used. So O'Leary says she needs a 6. So roll. Oh yes, you need 6 because you're our newest channel member, aren't you? Although looking at the size of the first one, it'll be right. Okay, so a little clue for you, O'Leary, is if you want the smaller patterns. Sorry, I so should have said in the email, but I didn't. I just fired you off your choices, and you came back with a choice, and you didn't say, "Can I have extra information?" Right. So the smaller out of the sets of pattern are the Marvelous ones. Okay, so anything that's based off of a Marvel character, they all come in smaller. Box count, row count, and then what this penguin would. Okay, I'm just trying to think. Iceberg, because you know what they are. So Iceberg is only 55 rows. So if you compare that to your accident prone elephant of 164 rows, it's a lot smaller. I'm so sorry. I should have put that bit on there. But yeah, if you want to know the sizes of them, please just say, what size is this one? How many rows is it? And then that will give you a rough idea of how big it will be. Yeah, because our O'Leary, the first one she grabbed happened to be accident prone elephant, which is, I think, the largest, if not one of the largest, isn't it? Vonda, welcome in, darling. She's saying that she's 6mm, has preferred her J hook / 6mm normally, but lately she's on a P hook. Thank you. That's big. I haven't actually got a hook that goes up to that. My largest one in this set is only a J hook. I do have some metal ones that are a lot larger, and what was it? I've got up to 10, and then I think I've managed to find a 15 as well. But that's a millimetre, so I can't tell you the number. Sorry, the letter that corresponds with that one. Oh, get back in there, you. And Kathy's saying hello to Vonda. Smirnoff is a 3.25. It seems to be her go-to hook at the moment. Crikey, you're Aragurumi in it though, aren't you? Oh, if I've got that right, I'm going to be so chuffed with myself, because that conversation was yesterday. I've slept since then. So Kathy's saying that she mostly works with fingering, sports and DK, so it's definitely smaller hooks for her. Smirnoff is saying it's fine, big is good. Oh, Smirnoff, you are so cheeky. Kathy's saying Ape is actually cute as well on the patterns. That's the one that she's got, is Ape, accident prone elephant. I must admit I love that one. I am tempted to make it, but I'm sitting here thinking, when am I going to have time? And also, it would have to be a solely personal one for me, because I can't sell the pattern. So really, I've got other patterns that I want to make up first so that I can get them on the shop. Because of course I need to make them first before I can sell the pattern. David is saying that he used to be a worsted boy using a I 5.5mm or larger, but nowadays it's very much using the lighter weight yarns and a smaller hook. Maybe that means he's grown up a little. Oh, as in the same sort of correspondence of when we were nippers, we were giving them gosh awful pencils. Did you ever get the triangle chunky pencils at school, David, when you first started learning to write? Honestly, we got them here in the UK, and they weren't round like a normal pen would be. They were literally lumps of triangle. They were massive and chunky. Did you used to get them? And as you progressed and you managed to write, the pencil thickness got smaller and smaller until we were actually trusted with a fountain pen. Yeah, that didn't last long for me. I covered absolutely all of myself in fountain ink, and they said, nope, you're not having that. Have your pencil back. Wasn't even given a biro. Oh, David, one of David's friends sent him a set of large hooks, which is a 15, 20 and 25 millimetre. He doesn't use them and rarely show them because they get cheeky comments from people. I bet they do. Crikey. My sort of comment would have been something like, oh, make sure you don't leave them on the sofa. But then that's because I am cheeky and a nightmare, aren't I? Okay. Smirnoff is not on our amigurumi, a DK cotton for the penguin. Oh, and you've got loose tension. I gotcha. She does do amigurumi too, a little bit of everything. You're like me. Mix it up, don't you? Otherwise you end up going bored. Well, I do anyway. So Kath has just made a blanket with a 12mm hook, and it felt awkward and very big. Crikey, 12mm. I don't think I've gone that high, that far yet. Oh, you had the round ones. You were posh. Were they the supersized with the giant rubber on the end? I used to collect these supersized pencils. Honestly, no lie, and they would have been, yeah, about the length of an average keyboard, and or a PC keyboard, I should say. So average length, and they were like that long and massive chunky with this big fat rubber. You couldn't hold them to write, and if you did, you had to hold it like a fist to write it. So it was completely useless as a tool, but they looked good in a big pot, all different angles with different rubbers around as well, because I used to collect rubbers back in the day. I was I was a strange kid, but I had like the scented rubbers that you could get back in the 80s and early 90s, and so I had those in a pot all stacked up. It looked pretty until my sister got hold of it. Yes, the triangle ones are impossible. That's the thing. Back then, my teacher used to sit in the corner with the dustbin sitting between her legs, and she'd have a flick knife, and she used to just chunk off the end till she got a sharp bit, put the pencil back on the side, and the kids would walk over to her while she's throwing this knife around, sharpening the pencils, and the kids would just pick up their triangle one, and they were only like 5-6 years old. The next class along, the teacher had the kids standing there, if they'd been in trouble, shoving the pencil in a special machine and whirling round the handle to sharpen the pencil, shouting, change it every sort of little bit, because otherwise the kids would sit there, the naughty kids would sit there pushing the pencil and sharpening it and seeing if they could get really, really small pencils. So they look like something that you'd have got from Argos in the UK. Right, I'm going to stick another question up, and then I will get in with your comments again. Oh, this is a sneaky one. Oh, I like the next one as well. Right, so this next question up, of course, is to either win a winners only pattern or just to shout roll it. Okay, so the question is, what is Beethoven's first name? Or should I say, what was Beethoven's first name? And that leads me into a really cool conversation about a TV programme. Right, so let's have a look. Where were we? Triangle pencils, impossible to sharpen. We're only allowed to use a fountain pen at school, Kath. Yeah, well, I was special ed, so... Well, I wasn't. I was mainstream school, but they realised I was very special. So, yeah, I got a pencil. It was a safer option. Oh, Barb, that's a shame, darling. She's saying her computer is acting up, so she'll watch the replay. Hugs and love all. Hugs and love to you, honey. Hopefully you get to see this message. Whether it's now while it's still live or on a replay later, babes. So Kathy's also saying, oh, sorry, Barbs. Have a good night. Good day. Where are we gone? Yeah, have a good day. Oh, Dave, you are so cheeky. Dave is saying his sister was 2 years ahead of ahead of him in school. He thinks that she learned using fountain pens and inkwells. And by the time he reached the appropriate age, we had ballpoint pens. Wait, I'm younger than you, and even we were taught to use a fountain pen, or they attempted to get us to use a fountain pen. Although saying that though, we had the old desks with the flip lids still, because our school was an Edwardian school. It was built in let's see if I can get this right, 1889. Was it 18? No, 1884. It sounds strange that I know this, but I was at the school when its 100-year centenary, which is why I can remember it. So we still had these old style desks, which were the flip lid desks, and they actually had a place at the end that was for your pen and for an inkwell. They still had those. So we used to put like our pencils up there and stuff like that, and then all our tat and rubbish used to go inside the desk. So it meant at the end of the night you only had to scoop it up, dump it in, close the drawer and forget about it. Or should I say, remove the snacks that you'd been sneaking during class before you got told off. Sorry, I've got a itchy nose today. Yeah, but we were given the opportunity. We were in year 6, so we were year 6, which would have made us between about 10 years old. Between 10 and 11, and we were given the opportunity to learn how to use an ink pen and a calligraphy and do all that and joined up writing and stuff. And I'm like, you don't want me to do joined up? I can barely read it as it is because it bounces all over the page. So yeah, me and joined up writing did not work. But yeah, we had ballpoints, but I found it so much easier just using a pencil. So I stuck to pencil. Oh, Catherine, you collected the big the jumbo pencils or the smelly rubbers? The nice smelly rubbers, I should say. Oh no, erasers. Okay, because I know that the word rubbers can be used for something else. Okay. Yes, O'Leary, so she's saying that she remembers getting one of those massive pencils as a keepsake from Blackpool. You can still get them from some special places, but you really got to keep an eye out for them. They are quite a rarity. Yeah, David's just pulled me up for saying that scented rubbers in the US, that word rubber means something different. It does in the UK as well. And yes, they come in different scents, we all know, but shh, we'll be well behaved, promise. Okay, so yeah, it's really strange, isn't it? When we were kids, I could get away with calling them a rubber because that's what they were. And then over the generations since flipping glasses, over the generations since then, and how the English language or just the language itself has changed, or they've adapted different words to mean different things. Now it means something completely different. Okay, so here we go. Right, so we have got a Ludwig van something or other. Because the question is, what was Beethoven's first name? Then we got another Ludwig, and then another Ludwig. And then we got David saying I was one of God's special children. I'm a non-believer, darling. No, I was just special. But the way I say it means something completely different, so I've got to be so careful I don't say it how I normally do. Oh, crikey, very well adapted. A very good question for tomorrow. As David has just told me, tomorrow is the 16th and it is actually Beethoven's birthday. Do. That's as close as you're going to get me to singing anything, and hopefully you recognise it as, I think it's one of his symphonies, I hope. Right, we do have a winner, and our winner is a Smirnoff very early on with the correct answer, and nearly it all fully said, which is Ludwig. Okay, so congratulations, darling. Again, you have won yourself another mystery pattern. Unless you don't want it this time, that is fine. But please be aware that at the moment it is Vault Passes. So it gives you a chance to catch up with the rest of the pattern collectors, which is pretty much everybody else in chat. Well, the girls in chat, not the boys, because they're doing other things. But the girls in chat have pretty much all got 7 of the patterns already, and now the Vault Passes only come out on special occasions, like when I cannot be bothered to make or talk about a new pattern. So for the rest of this month, I will be doing Vault Passes only on the lives. But as I've said before, if you guys have already got all 7, you just shout roll it, as we would normally do at the end of each month anyway. So congratulations, Smirnoff, you've gone and got yourself another Vault Pass. I really should be writing this down, shouldn't I? I've got no room. This thing takes up so much room. Right, so remember, when it comes to claiming your prize, I know we're midway through your claiming from yesterday, but if you could do me a separate email, that would be really appreciated. And if you write the same thing that you wrote, just changing a few details around, that would be really cool. And also during the email, just pop on your choice straight away, and then I will sort you out a code. Okie dokes. So that's all sorted. Number 2 in the bag. 2 of 7 done. Yay. Right, so let's have a look. What else we got? We got Silver Wings. She's sneaked in with a hey. Hiya, darling. Welcome in. Smirnoff, you cheeky bug. As I said, I was there for the 100 celebrations. So yeah, it was around, I'm sure it was 1884, 85, something like that. Might have even been 86, but the school that I was at, that's how long the building had been up, and a school, for 100 years when I got there. So much so, it actually had separate entrance, designated entrances for boys and girls, one on one side of the school, one on the other. Although we used the one entrance to go in and the other one to come out of. That's how we worked, how the school worked it then. There was no splitting of sexes or anything like that, by the time I got there anyway. But our school finally, they knocked down the back of the school and destroyed all of the history there about 3 or 4 years ago, and put houses in its place. They've kept the frontage of the school because it was a listed-ish building. It would have been listed if it hadn't been, how to put it politely, if the hands hadn't been greased at the council, or whoever does it, hands were greased, so the building didn't quite make it to listed. And because of that, it meant that they could knock down the majority of it and only leave the front of the building, which is a shame because it was a beautiful building, and it hosted everything in the area. The cub group, the scout group, arts and crafts, the school, religious concerts, because the local church was too small, so they used to have the concerts and things like that in the school hall. It was a beautiful, beautiful building. Okay, it was surrounded, it had asbestos, but it was still a beautiful building. Right, let's get back to your comments. You had a really good collection of erasers. Yeah, I did as well, actually. I had some really cute ones. I've actually got one sitting here at the moment that I won last year. And it's a little owl, and I call it Owler. But she's jumped off of the top of the camera, which is where I usually put her. She's jumped off of there at the moment. She's sitting behind the computer screen. And I'm not going to grab her, otherwise you'll get more than a cleavage shot. So I'll leave her where she is. we are time travelling because, of course, Kaz is saying it's the 16th in Australia at the moment because she's just woken up. She's out of bed, I think, possibly with her first cup of coffee. What are we on? Oh no, we're on, hold on. No, it's just before bed. Sorry, honey. No coffee. Wine. Have wine. No, Kath, not quite 4. She's got 5 to go because she won 1 yesterday and 1 today, and there's 7. So, yeah, 5 to go. Where are we? David is saying to Catherine, I don't think it was considered a Jubilee year in North Carolina. Don't know, missed that comment. It must have jumped. Smirnoff is saying, I'm catching up fast. That she is. That she is. We've had it before now where one girl came in and walked out with, I think the highest we've done so far is 3. 3 wins to 1 person on 1 live. And that's only because she ran out. She got the last 3 she needed. Oh, thank you, David. David is saying, hey, it looks like we're all quite deficient in thumbs. In other words, if you could, please hit that thumbs up button, and that would be absolutely brilliant. And make sure as well that you are still subscribed to the channel by clicking subscribe and checking that bell and clicking all to make sure that you get all of my annoying videos. Okay, it is 1 AM where you are, Kaz. What are you still doing up? It's a school day. What are you like, woman? And the thing was, my plan was to do these lunchtime ones so you Aussies could come and visit. That's really gone out the window, hasn't it? Oh, I'm sorry. I have to think of something else. Right, so David is saying he was recently able to visit the campus of his old university. We use the word college, which he understands is a different meaning in the UK system. And he was made sad at his current state. Yeah, it is quite depressing sometimes, isn't it, to go back. Sometimes it's best not to. Right, in regards to school systems, ours starts with infants and juniors, which infants runs from about 4.5 or 4 till they're 7. Then you've got junior school, which runs from 7 to 11. Then we have high school, which is 11 till they're 15. Then they can either do sixth form college, which is at the school, or they can go off to college and study some more until they are around 18 or 19, depending on when their birthday falls. And then if they want to get into extreme amounts of debt, okay, and get a useless qualification that nobody really pays attention to anymore, which my one decided to do, they go off to university, and that is where we wave them off, pack their bags, send them on their way, and go, good luck, we'll see you in 3 years. And then they come back because, like, they got no money and they got debts and they got nowhere else to stay. So that is pretty much how the schooling system over here in the UK works. I never made it to university. I did sixth form, but they closed it down halfway through the year because I was the first year, because I was the last one on the course. So I never completed it. And just because I couldn't, I could have gone off and tried to join in at one of the local colleges, but it was a trek for me, for travel wise, and it cost quite a bit. So it was like, no, do you know what, I'll just go work, it's got to be easier. And that's what I did. Alright, so let's have a look. So Illyria is saying, Kaz, shh, don't tell me what happens tomorrow in regards to the time travelling. I tell you what is confusing is when you're flying it. When you fly over from, say, the UK to Australia, that's when it gets confusing, because on one of the ways you go, I can't remember if it's from the UK to Oz or Oz. No, it'll be from Oz, won't it, to the UK. If you get on the plane at the right time in Australia, you can actually arrive in the UK the day before. That's strange. Okay, the guys are back from their walk. I can hear Liam licking the door. Lovely. Right, Kaz is heading off. No, night, darling. She's saying she's had a very long day and she'll catch us all next week in a wave. No, night, babes. Have a lovely sleep. And Dodo is saying good night and take care, darling. Right. Oh. Alright, so David is saying he was in high school before which is university, isn't it? So he was in university before he realised there were people who actually chose not to do it. Education was highly valued in my family, so at least an undergrad education was given. Yeah, my family were a bit different, you see, because we didn't really go down that route. My family were all workers, all worked their little socks off. Now, because of my inability with the English language, because I'm dyslexic, because of that, a written education was tough for me. I am practical. I learn practically. So, ideally, if it had been a role that I wanted to do, I would have gone off to university, say, to become a chef or something like that. But the role that my dream job at that point was to be a paramedic, although I couldn't have done the role because I couldn't have written out the information. I couldn't have spelt half of the words I needed for the medication. So that role wasn't available for me, or at least I didn't feel safe to be able to go for that role. So I decided I was going to become a care assistant instead, and work with adults with learning disabilities and challenging behaviour. Because, hey, I'm challenging, so why not? But I had to wait until I was 18 to be able to do that role, which was why I went off and just did any old job I could find until I turned 18. Then I joined an agency, a specialised nursing agency, and went to lots of different care homes and lots of different homes until I found one that I suited them and they suited me. Because the last thing I wanted to do was to join a home and a team where I didn't get on with the team and I couldn't stand the clients. So I finally found a team that accepted me for me, which was good, and the clients that invited me to stay over, basically saying that I should have a bed, I should have the spare bedroom and move in, because as far as I was concerned, they thought I was one of them, which was good, which was what I wanted. So that was what I did for a good few years until, of course, I got married, and then I had to move here, there and everywhere with a husband. And then I did it again. I went back into the role again when he left the army, but that's when it done my back in, and now I'm unsafe to do that role. So you lot stuck with me instead. But my sister went off and did college, and she chose hairdressing, so she didn't need to go to university. But now she owns 2 hairdressers herself, or is it 3? I don't know, but she owns her own businesses. My brother is what is he? A fisherman, so he's got his own boat, or he will have soon once he collars my dad into giving up his. So he's a trawler. He's got a trawler, and then of course, so I'm the mistaken one without the job. But my cousins, who are younger than me, they went off to university, and we've got lawyers, solicitors, barristers, doctors, you name it. There's pretty much one of them. And then we've got a couple of the family that have gone into the armed forces. So we've got one in the army, one in the navy, one in the air force as well. Well, he's left now, but there was one in the air force. So not a bad little mix from my little crowd of family. Oh, I shouldn't say little, they're massive. Right, let's give you another question. Done that one? No, that's rubbish. Okay, so this one's a bit of a sneaky one, but hopefully it will give us something to chat about. So the next question up is, what was Al Capone arrested for? Okay, so what was Al Capone arrested for? Now, he was a cheeky toe rag, wasn't he? And let's see how many of you know the correct answer. And now while you're thinking about that and tapping your head, I will carry on reading through the comments and catch up with you all. Right, so we've got Kaz and Smirnoff. They both said goodnight to Kath. David has said that his family has risen from working class to achieve a university education. His mother was taught school for about 400 years and the father had a few careers. Oh, she taught at school, so she was a teacher, right? Gotcha. Sorry, I was giggling then, thinking something completely different because of the way that I'd read it. Okay, and his father had a few careers that his college education supported. Okay, Kath is saying that she thinks that the route I went was more rewarding than a paramedic. Yes, I did love it, but I would have loved to have been able to save. And it's a weird way of looking at it, isn't it? I like blood, guts and gore, so that sort of stuff wouldn't have bothered me. And to be able to actually be there and to help the person through would have been amazing. Whereas, yes, I loved my career working with adults with challenging behaviour. They weren't challenging. What was challenging was the perception other people had of them. But I had such a fun time in all of the different care homes that I worked with all of the different types of clients that I worked with. And I didn't just stick to a learning disability or adults with challenging behaviour. I started off with care homes for older generations, or basically any hours in any care home I could find, so that I could make sure that I had the right care home for me and me for them, basically. Way back when I was a nipper. Let's have a look what else was said. Smirnoff is saying one of her family went to uni, but her kids bucked to the trend. Eldest got a law degree, her second is currently at uni doing a paramedics course, and her youngest is studying media and special effects. Oh, sweet! My eldest, she has got an animation degree, but has decided that is not for her, whereas the youngest is the one that I expected to do the animation degree, and she is actually the one that's done my little face picture that's up on the channel, and she drew that and it took her about half an hour, and she drew that when she was 14 and only just turned 14. So she's got an amazing ability when it comes to artwork. She's got Asperger's, and once we found that was her avenue, of course we've helped her out and we've helped push her along, so to speak. So she's had she's been able to do digital art since she was about 12. And she's had tablets and stuff where she can make her own videos as well. It's just nowadays, if I say to her, could you do me the opening title for my YouTube channel, which is what I want her to do, so that I can change it up for next year. She's gone, how much are you paying me? And I can't get away with a pallet of strawberries anymore, or a pallet of grapes. I have to actually give her real-time cash, which is just not fair. Not fair at all. But I fully get it, because it does take a while, and her stuff is stunning. Where are we? Right, David is saying, if he understands correctly, in the UK, a college is sort of the equivalent of what the US calls a vocational school. College, okay, so with college you can learn to be a chef, mechanic, builder. So yeah, that is vocational, isn't it, rather than the written. So the writtens would be oh, brain cell's gone. Doctor, dentist. Why did I come out with dentist? Solicitor. The more academic. So the more academic are the uni, and the vocational, yeah, our college. It takes me a little while getting all these different words for different things. All right. Okay, so Smirnoff is saying her third child is now looking at uni, aiming to be a psychiatric nurse. Wow. That's going to be a really interesting, intense course though. but it's gonna be so rewarding when she does it, or he does it, sorry. Oh, that's going to be pricey. She's saying, well, she'll have 3 to 4 at uni at the same time in September. Basically, the kids have to go into debt. The parents have to cough up extra if they can afford to do it. If they can't afford to do it, the kids might get some extra funding, but the funding is extra debt. Here in the UK is ridiculous. Smirnoff is saying that she really admires care assistants. I must admit, the best care assistants, in my opinion, are the crazy ones. If they're crazy with a warped sense of humour, you know that the shift that you were working on, or that if your parents are being looked after by them, you know that your parents or your family member will have a fun time, and you know that it's all going to be laugh and giggles in that home. That's how I see it. So when it comes to shopping for my own, I am going to be looking for the one that's run by the most craziest, looniest staff going. None of this prim and proper lark. No. None of this I've got to cross the T's and dot the I's type of people. No. I want the crazy, bat, loopy crazy people to look after me if I have to go down that route. Right, so here we go. Right, so the question was, what was Al Capone arrested for? And the correct answer here is a tax evasion. Right, so we've got David come in with a tax fraud. Now, I know you're getting me to roll it anyway, so let's see. Tax evasion. Our next one up is, oh, it was close. Dodo, you've gone and done it, darling. Are you getting me to roll it, or are you collecting your Volpals? We'd all forgotten about that, hadn't we? Well, I had. And David here is saying that his sister was a nurse for about 400 years too. He recalls hearing that when her nursing school was first brought into an operating theatre, she was the only one who didn't faint. Yeah, that's quite common, isn't it? The doctors and nurses faint, or at least it was back then, because it wasn't so widely shown. You didn't see a lot of it. Nowadays, I can't see it being such a big thing because, of course, there's so much goo and yuck on the TVs nowadays that you see most of it anyway. And if you're really that way inclined, you can search out real-time operations as well on the internet, so you can have access to all that sort of stuff, and watch it all first. Okay, you're not going to get the rest of the senses, you're only going to get the sight, you're not going to get the touch, the smell, and that may be what knocks you, especially if you decide you want to go into a different walk of operating, whether it not operating but something along that lines. Right, so Smirnoff is saying, well, she is very talented. Yes, she's multi-talented, is my youngest. She will draw, she paints, digital art. She's made some masks that I've also shown on the channel previously. But her Halloween one was absolutely amazing, and her teacher had set them a task last year during lockdown to draw a mask. And she turned around, she'd drawn it within 20 minutes. She'd sent the picture over. The teacher was like, that is amazing. She went, well, I'm bored, miss. Can I just make it? So she had me sitting on the floor in our lounge making wafts, I think they're called, but basically stripping back balls of yarn and sticking it all together to make hair extensions. It looked like little hair extensions for this mask that she was making, and then she glued them all on and then shaped it and everything else. It looked amazing. That one was in a red and white. I can't show it to you at the moment because I still haven't worked out how to multi-screen this, and so I can show you stuff on my screen. I still haven't worked it out. It'll be a while yet. But yeah, she's brilliant. Clay, you name it. You give her a tool to make something arty and she'll do it. And if she doesn't know how to do it, she goes off and researches until she feels confident enough to do it, and then she just gets on with it. Okay, so Dodo is saying Kath and Smirnoff got it before her on live chat. Let me have a look. I saw David on my screen, gang. It says and David first with tax fraud. Oh, Kath in with tax evasion. Yes, it's because she's in blue. I missed her, but she makes me roll it over anyway. Yeah, so my next one up was a Dodo and then Smirnoff, darling. It's just the way of the screens, the way it sometimes jumps, isn't it? Where are we? But of course, I know that that the was it Kath won't want one because she's already got more. Where are we? David. Oh, okay, David is saying there are veterinary channels on YouTube that he likes to watch and they get pinged all the time for too much graphic content and he hates that. I can understand why they do it because, of course, kids do have access. I haven't actually looked into stuff like that. I'd be happy to sit there and watch open heart surgery on a human, but give me open heart surgery on a dog, cat, guinea pig or anything else. I wouldn't be able to watch it. I would just find it too upsetting, which is really, really strange, but that's the way it goes. Right, so yeah, as Kath has said, we roll it anyway with me and Kath. Right. And David doesn't want the pattern. See, I'd second guess. I'm just working my way down the list of who got it. But Kath wants credit. Okay, Kath got in there first, but I nicked the prize and I rebranded it and rehanded it out to the next person on the list who didn't want it either. So I rebranded it and re-rolled it again. So it was Dodo that came in next. Now Dodo, does that mean you don't want me to? You don't want it and you want me to roll it on again? Right, okay, Smirnoff, you've gone and got a pattern number 2 today, darling. Right, we've rolled it on, and I'm going to have to stop doing that, or she's going to end up with all 7 within two lives. Oh, dear. So congratulations, Smirnoff. That's 2 patterns you've now gained. Have we got anybody else but Smirnoff today that is actually after collecting the leftover tickets? Hold on, let's have a look. And David is saying that he can watch surgical content all day long, but whenever they poke him to draw blood, he has to look away. No, what we've done, I've already sorted it before Dodo got in. Dodo said roll it. Normally when we say roll it, it means roll it on to the next question asked. But today I've just gone, do you know what, Smirnoff, you can have a second. And then we'll ask another question in a moment. But what I'm going to say now is if Smirnoff was the only person collecting them today, I think we'll just do a couple more questions for a bit of fun, just for bragging rights rather than pattern collecting rights, because I think she's going to have 3 in total that she might want to get to, and we don't want to overload her so quick, do we? Not like I've done with some of you that have got them all and you're looking at them going, I don't know which one to do. Don't know which one to start first. So Kathy's having a giggle with David, and Dodo is saying, woohoo, Smirnoff. Kathy's saying that she once assisted the vet with pulling the cat's teeth. That didn't bother her. The closest that I did was with my old girl, my old geriatric. She had breast cancer, so she had to go in for the operation. She went in for an operation and had the mammary glands removed all down one side. So when it came to taking out her stitches, I was the one that held her while the vet removed the stitches. That's about as close as I've got. Don't get me wrong, when she's come in after having a massive fight, because she was a vicious little when she was younger, she used to take on the local dogs, and so much so that there was what are they called? Well, we didn't have any Alsatians. Oh, the ones that like pulling sledges. But basically we had this gorgeous dog, absolutely beautiful dog up the road to us, that was petrified of him. So much so, husky. It was a husky. So much so, the husky, when it came to walking down our road, would drag the owner to the other side of the road to walk past us, and would frog march the owner, make him run basically, and then would move back onto my side of the road when he knew it was safe, because my cat used to jump scare him and would literally jump him every time she saw him. She was a git for it. Smirnoff is saying that she has to watch the needles go in, otherwise her imagination goes wild. I'm a bit the other way inclined. I just look at the nurse if they've got to take blood or they're doing anything like that. I go, do you want to just give it to me and I'll stab myself? And they look at me and I'm like, I'm not a drug addict. You're okay. It sounds daft. I just want to do it. I want to see what it would feel like to actually do it. Or something along that lines, just because that was one thing I never did when I trained, like when I was in the care sector. I never gave out medications because I didn't trust myself not to put the wrong thing in, like in the charts and things, or give them the wrong medication because I'd read it wrong. So I'd never done any of that, and that's the one thing that I really wanted to do but never got around to. So yeah, the closest I get is, can I give myself my own vaccination? And they're like, no. I'm like, you sport. Well, my doctor is so used to it now. I walk in, she goes, sit down and give me your arm, and no, you can't. And I go, all right, fine. She just stabs me. David is saying, rolling on the river. And Dodo is in with, oh, did Tina Turner sing that one, David? I believe she did, and it was in... it's been in quite a few films now, isn't it? Smirnoff's back in with Huskies. Thank you very much for the memory jolt. David is saying Dodo, maybe not. I'm sure she was, because I remember her shaking her tush, because she used to shake her tush. Kathy's saying that her 2 German Shepherds are totally ruled by the cats. I must admit, before Kit Kat passed away, with help, mind, but Kit Kat did pass away, she used to scare the daylights out of Liam, which was hilarious because she walked around slower than me, and all she used to have to do was look at him, and she'd give him this look and he'd just run. It's as if he knew that in her head she was going, I'm going to get you. She just wouldn't have been able to catch him 2 steps and he'd be gone, and it would take her half hour to cover the same area. Really cute, really funny, but all he wanted to do was hug her, and she was not up for that. You come back in at a strange time. Very much so. These lives are getting stranger by the week. They really are. Darlene, welcome in, Darlene. She is saying good morning. Okay, I get it. This is a joke going before I say it. Kathy's saying, I could always hope to get diabetes joke. Obviously, wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. Yeah, but the problem is with that now, the closest I'd get is to stab my finger with a needle. Because everything's done now where you get some really cool gadgets that automatically administer any insulin that you need. One of my friends has got a lad who's got type 1, I think it is, the more dangerous out of the 2, and his medication is all app-based. It's amazing. So Dodo is saying hi to Darlene. There's a fantastic version of Rolling on the River performed by the LA Gang men's chorus, easily found on YouTube. I've seen that one. It is so cute. And Smirnoff is also saying hello to Darlene. Darlene, again, a welcome in, Darlene. Not even if I put my finger in the machine. No, not at all. No, my grandmother had diabetes as well. Okay, we'll let you get away with that one, because you're right in the way I speak, so you got away with it. Right, so Smirnoff is saying that she had a diabetic cat that she had to stab twice a day, basically give medication to twice a day. Yeah, I was quite lucky. I never had to do anything like that with Kit Kat. The most I used to have to do was pin her down for her flea and worm treatments. And that was a case of, you'd show her it, she'd look at you, go, forget that, and leg it and jump up onto a windowsill to try and get out of the window, which was her normal exit point. But it would be closed, so then of course she was trapped and she couldn't go anywhere. So you used to literally, it started off, I used to have to pin her up against the window and then administer the medications. And then she had an abscess on her neck that had burst outwards, luckily, when she was about 2 or 3, and I'd taken her up to the vets and told what I had to do to keep it clean so it could heal naturally. So I'd started off by pinning her and doing the clean up, and then the next time I showed her the cotton wool and everything and let her sniff it, so she associated the smell with what I was doing, and then I pinned her. Then I did. The third time I showed her it and she just looked at me, sat on my lap and laid her head, and I just thought, okay, she trusts me. So at that point all I used to have to do was show her medication, and or whatever I needed to do with her, I would show her what I was going to do, and then she would just jump up and let me do. But anybody else she would beat 10 bells out of. And vets, I got kicked out of one vet. They said never bring her back. She went feral. He said, I've never seen a cat go feral so quickly. She was in her box. I've opened her box up, and literally she turned into the Tasmanian devil, spitting, snarling, spinning around like a raving lunatic. The vet got bitten, he got scratched. She was hanging off his arm at one point. In the end, I've literally grabbed her by the scruff, put her back in her box and apologised, and was told to take her out and never bring her back. So yeah, that's why I used to do all the medication administering if I could. But then I went to a vet's close to me, and he turned around and told me that my cat was diabetic, but refused to take any bloods. So I refused to pay 80 quid a month to inject her when he said she would only last until the following Christmas. Well, his maths was off, because she lasted another 6 years. At least another 6 years after his death diagnosis, as I call it. I think she was 8 when, yeah, she was 8 when he gave her her death diagnosis, and she died when she was just shy of her 20th birthday. And I never treated her for diabetes. She never had any weight loss or any of the other telltale signs. Let me see where we're going. Kath has said, okay, then give massive, they gain massive weight, stop moving, and hairpin shots every day. Kath is saying she had to give her rabbit shots. She hates doing it. Smirnoff was saying he was actually really good. She believed that he knew it was helping him. And Darlene is saying hi, and Kath is saying hi to Darlene. Right, let's choose another dodgy question. Okay, I'm trying to think, who have we got and what countries you're from, so at least some of you will get it. Alright, okay. Oh, this question is so badly written. Okay, but it is old school here, gang. It's an old school question. So hopefully all of us will know this. Right, in Thunderbirds, what car does Lady Penelope own? Okay, I've had to change that because I said drive. So in Thunderbirds, what type of car does a Lady Penelope own? Now let's see how many of you know that one. Right, Smirnoff is saying that her vet told her they could use the out-of-date human insulin, told them the dose, and the mother-in-law is diabetic, so they got it off her. It cost her £10 a month for needles, and that was all. Well, that's the thing. That's all they give you anyway at the vets, is a medication that was once tested on animals for humans, so they know that that medication is fine for your animal. And sometimes it comes under a different name. Other times it's the same name, just under a different box. So it's like you can find medications out there. I'm trying to think, what was it? I was given some pain meds for Liam at one point, and I read the back of the packet. I went, all right, okay, so you've given me some super duper medication. He said, why are you smiling? I said, it's ibuprofen. It's 200 gram ibuprofen. I've just got to cut it in half. If you'd have told me that, I'd have taken it off the shelf in the house, rather than agreeing to pay X amount of money for this prescription. And they looked at me, they grinned and went, oh, okay, you know what you're talking about. Well, just tell you, go and get the ibuprofen off the shelf. And that's what we did. But yeah, sometimes they're quite cheeky with it. Some vets are cheeky, others are very honest, and they'll say to you, look, you can get this medication over the counter for X amount of cash, saving you this amount of money. And that is normally what we do. Right, so we got a couple of guesses in. Oh, we got some differences. Some of you are saying Rolls Royces, and some of you are saying pink Cadillac. Oh, now which one is it? Which one is it? Now, Susan's come in twice with pink Cadillac, but she's fixed the correction spelling for me. Yes, Kathy's right. Never ever give them aspirin. That is lethal. Yeah, there are some things that are, so it is always best to check with the vet first. Don't take my word for it. Check with your vet. If you've got a good vet, your vet will tell you whether you're safe to use this one, that one, or the other. Why do you park on the frickin' grass? Oh, delivery driver. He's probably chucked something over the wall rather than walk into the door. Right. So we've got, how many have we got in chat at the moment? Oh, I'm even on the wrong screen, aren't I? Still on the wrong screen. How many is in chat? 4. Okay, so I've got 4 answers, or 3 answers from the 4 of you. Okay, so let's have a nose. I'm on the wrong bit again. That one there. So there's me waiting for more answers, and there's only 4 of you. 3 of you have answered. Right, so let's see. We had Smirnoff coming in with the pink one, but changed their mind up and came in with another answer a few moments later. Kathy said she never watched it. You never watched Thunderbirds. Oh, what was the other one? The underwater with Marina. Did you watch that one instead? I can't think what it was called now. No, Atlantis is adult one. I don't know. Right, let's get back to the answer now. The correct answer was, in fact, a Rolls Royce. So congratulations, Smirnoff. You've got bragging rights as you've already got yourself 2 patterns today. And Dodo, you came in as well with a Rolls Royce. Congratulations. Susan says a pink Cadillac, possibly in the films because they're more Americanized. So the Cadillac may have been the replacement for the car. But of course, these two, the show that Thunderbirds was actually made in the UK, so they stuck to a posh UK car. And that was the poshest they had at the time. Okay, they did soup it up a bit though, didn't they, by giving it a zhoop zhoop. Diary of a Happy Hooker, welcome in, darling. She said she'd never seen it before. Stingray, that was the one. Thank you, Telpin. Where have you been hiding, honey? Welcome in. So we've had a couple of new people pop in. Right, so let me get another question out. Telpin, are you looking for any corner-to-corner patterns to complete your winner-only list, honey? And Diary of a Happy Hooker, welcome in, darling. Today I'm giving away vault passes to winner-only corner-to-corner patterns. I'll just say this for any of the new crazies that are here. All the details on how to play along and how to win are in the description box down below. Right, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to nick some of this wine. My throat is so sore and I don't have to drive anywhere tonight. Do I really want to do this? No. Ugh. That stuff's vile. But my throat was that dry, it was so crackly. Okay, no giggling at that. Actually, you can, I don't mind. That would be something that's freeze framed, isn't it? And put on auto repeat now. Right, where were we? So we had Stingrays, Smirnoff. Right, yes, I was saying about the winner only patterns. There are 7 for you to choose from. They are all corner to corner, although there is a chart in there so that in the pattern, so that if you don't want to do it, it's corner to corner, you can swap that out. You could be a really courageous and make a little granny squares and sew those together for a larger blanket. That idea works really, really well for the Marvellous range. If you're going for the Disney range, which is the Disney, don't for the Disney, they are the big ones. So if you want to downsize that one, I would say go for the single crochet and backwards and forwards, but you will have to do your own counting, because within the pattern there is also the box counts done, but of course those box counts are for corner to corner patterns, so they work from one side and work their way up. It didn't work, did it? It's still croaky. So we got that good, laugh out loud. It was only a little bit. I was tempted to gurgle it, but then I thought you lot might think I'm a bit of a raving alky after yesterday's conversation we had about alcohol. And Kathy's saying, laugh out loud, the face, nice vinegar. It did taste like it. Don't get me wrong, I have already had a glass of it, and the more you drink, the better it tastes, but that's normal for alcohol, isn't it? You kill your taste buds off, so you don't really mind. Dodo says nice vinegar. Happy's saying she makes a similar face drinking apple cider vinegar. I hope you are a lass, honey. Sorry if you're not and I've got it wrong. I just assume everybody's girly, so I call everybody honey and darling first. Yes, O'Leary is saying she guesses if you're aiming to yarn bomb the town hall with Dismay patterns, granny squares would work. Yeah, if it depends on the size of. Yeah, because you've seen the pattern. Have you seen the pattern? Yes, you have. Yeah, if you made that one as a granny square, it's not a rug. Even if it was only a 2 or a 3 round granny square, if you did one of the Dismay, in that it would be the size of a house. So yeah, don't do granny squares for that one. Oh, is apple cider vinegar in capsules? Okay, so that's the health kick way of doing it then. And Doria's saying yes, she's a lady. Coolio. That's alright then, I haven't offended you today then. Maybe next week. Okay. I did not throw gin over the keyboard. I can't stand the stuff. If I liked gin, I would be drinking the bottle that my eldest left behind. But I looked at it, I smelt it and realised it reminded me too much of fabric conditioner for my clothes. So it's like, no, I'm not using it. It looks like laundry detergent. It smells like laundry detergent. And why wouldn't I want to drink a pod? Yeah, I would drink, hold on, where are we? I was just about to say something else then. Happy is saying that she I normally do two Smirnoff, meaning that she takes her apple cider vinegar capsule in capsule form. I'm not a capsule tablet typey person, me. I really should start doing all that vitamin health stuff, but no, not yet. If I do, I need one that's for supple joints. I best go to the shop and get the one for the 107-year-old people out there that are starting to get a bit frail. I need that now. Yes, I do drink vodka. Yes, I do drink Baileys. Yes, I do drink Tia Maria. No, I don't drink Daniels. And I certainly don't do gin. I drink port on occasion, but only if I mix it with WKD Blue for a cheeky mimto, and that is about it for me for drinking. I do try a little bit of this and a little bit of that, depending on who's got what and if they let me mix some. Honey, I'm old. My body's old. My body's giving up on me. The brain's already got a touch of Alzheimer's. That is down to the dyslexia. So yeah, I don't see, after doing the job that I've done over the years, I don't see age as a thing anymore. I see ability as a thing. So I've got the body of a 107-year-old. No, actually, he's beating me because he used to be able to walk without a stick and still had his own teeth. I'm losing mine. But no, I would put my body at about the age of an 80 to 90-year-old now. An unfit 80 to 90-year-old. Because I know some proper 80 or 90-year-olds are so sprightly. You look at them and you're like, there's no way that's your age. Ah, you want to know what kind of gin it is? Okay, I'm going to go and grab a drink of fluid for me, water-based, non-alcoholic, and I'll bring in the bottle. It is beautiful looking. Give me a sec. She says losing her balance and taking her neck off on a pole. Right, what's my lighting like? Right, watch your eyes, gang. I'm turning the light on. Why did I say that? The camera will sort itself out. Oh, I'm having a dopey moment, aren't I? Right. So there we go, back again. Right, now this stuff is... I'm not quite sure where she got it from. So I don't know if it is something that you can purchase online. Or whether it is something special from somewhere or other. Right, but it is called Small Batch Gin Company. Okay, and the flavour she's got is bubblegum gin liqueur. Okay, now I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, right? If you can see that, look, it looks plain, boring blue, right? It looks like hand sanitizer until you give it a shake, give it a twist. And then all of a sudden it looks like bubble bath. Can you see that? Is pretty, but it looks like bubble bath. Why and what in the right mind would drink something that looks like bubble bath? Okay, I'm going to sniff. I'm going to get drunk off the smell. There is an underlying smell of bubblegum followed by bubble bath. Right, I just don't get it. This is where I find out I've got some on my hands. No. Oh dear. Right, so let's see what you guys are all chatting about. Yeah, it does look toxic, doesn't it? Hand sanitizer or bubble bath. Right, okay, so let's see, where do we get to? Vodka. When I'm old like you. No, none of us are old. Dodo was saying I was going to ask the same, Kath, laugh out loud. Laundry pods. You know what I mean by laundry pods? They're the liquid-based laundry detergent that they put in like a soluble casing. And to me, that's what it reminds me of. Either that or bubble bath. That really old stuff. I can't think, what was it called? I can't even think what it was called. It was in like a bottle. It was a character bottle back in like the 80s or 90s. I think it was like Mr. Bubbly or Mrs. Bubbly or something. You could get a whole set, a man, a lady and the kids. Kath is saying she doesn't recommend throwing Baileys on the keyboard. I tell you what, if I'd have spilt Bailey, there would be no chance of me spilling Baileys. No chance. None at all. If on that slight possibility that I did, I would have sucked it off the keyboard. I won't waste my Baileys. No chance. No wasting Baileys. But water, that can just roll off and dry. Hooker is saying hi to Kath, and Smirnoff is saying I agree. I always tell people not to complain about age. Too many don't get the opportunity. Yep. But as I said, age is a number, is your abilities that you have. I'm away to grab a shot now. I was taking this cheeky drag on my vape pen and grabbing myself me water. I've got a more stable cup, I hope, today. It is water, I would show you, but the bottom of the cup's it's one of them metal ones and it's starting to flake. So no, me, I'll probably be spitting out lots of paint in a minute. I would throw it, but the husband will be really upset with me if I do. I've already destroyed one of his cups this week. Right, so Happy is saying her granny just turned 90. She tells me to never get old. I tell her to the alternative isn't happening either. Laugh out loud. Talking your neck off, I instantly own niggers. Cheers, Dodo, says Happy. And look out for the salt and lime juice around a month. The good old shots off the back of the hand. Oh, Kathy's saying with her from out. Oh, I can't pronounce that one today. I know exactly what it is because Big Sis has that. It's not nice at all. But with her ailments, she feels like she has a body of a 70-year-old at the moment. Age is not all. Okay. Kathy's also saying that gin looked toxic. And it's bubblegum flavoured. What a waste of good alcohol. You can tell it was designed for the younger crowd, can't you? Around here, around locally to me, there is a gin company actually that do some amazing sounding gins. Amazing sounding gins. They've got the normal fruity ones, and then they've got the weird, wonderful randoms like that one. But I can't remember if that is our local gin company or if that was just one that she bought, say, at a food shop outlet like Tesco's, Asda's, or Morrison's. Other ones are around. So I don't actually, as I said, I don't know where she got that from. All I know is she came in with, look what I've got, and big wide eyes and a happy grin. So yeah, there's so many different gin flavours out there now. I wouldn't know where to start, apart from I have tried and I was just like, I can't even stomach the smell of them. But she's saying, what a good waste of flavoured alcohol. Well, you can flavour vodkas. There's a vodka place, or there used to be before lockdown. I haven't been back for quite a few years. But in Cheltenham, there used to be a vodka-only pub. Or, well, posh place anyway. And on the back shelf, you had all these different vodkas lined up that they'd made themselves. All different flavours, and it was like you got your basic strawberry vodkas. Oh, I love the German strawberry vodka. I forgot about that one. That's got proper strawberry lumps in it, and you have to have it in a shot glass, and you have to have it with cream on top. No, and I'm eyeing up my shot glass collection. I know exactly what shot glass it will go in this year. Wonder if hubby will get me any of that. But yeah, so they had like a strawberry vodka. It wasn't the same as the German one. The German one is the bestest that I've had so far. Then they had a Skittles one, so you could choose the colour of the Skittles you wanted. So if your favourite was a lemon Skittle, you could have lemon Skittles. I just picked that one because it was different from strawberry. But yeah, they had them all lined up, and you could see the Skittles in the bottom. So basically, all they've done is got vodka, put it in a container and shoved a load of Skittles in that colour, and then of course the shell melts, and that's what puts the flavour into the vodka. I don't know if that's the same for how they do the gins. All I know is that one's really weird and random. No, when I saw it, I was actually doing the laundry, which was why I was like, what is going on? And I just changed from one scent to another for my laundry detergent, and it happened to be a blue. The new one was blue, because I usually use a purple coloured one. So this new one was blue, and it looked the same as this vodka when it's shaken up. It's going to take quite a while for it to settle actually, but yeah, it looked exactly the same as that. So I made a joke to my daughter saying, you can the only time I'm going to tell her she has to stay out of the laundry and she's not allowed to touch the laundry or do the laundry is when she's drinking that, just in case she mixes up the bottles by mistake. Smirnoff is also saying that she has also been diagnosed with fibrocathy. Oh, so that's 2 of you that have got it here. Ouch. That's the stuff, Smirnoff. It's the matey bubble bath. It's nice to know that somebody else... Oh, and Dodo's in with it too. So that's another memory blast that we've had from way back when. Kathy's saying that she's sorry, Smirnoff. How are you dealing with your fibro? And I'm about to get rid of my new keyboard. No, I've put the water off to one side. Saying that though, if I did spill anything, it would all go underneath this keyboard because it sits so high compared to the flat one that I had. So if I spilt it on the table, it would just go underneath. It's just a case of if I tip it. Don't threaten Ange, your hand will give up. Smirnoff is saying, Kath, she's been knocked sideways with it, to be honest. She was expecting it to take ages to get the diagnosis and for them to say it was something else, but her first appointment, they confirmed it. Wow, that's good going, because normally, to get that sort of diagnosis over here in the UK, you have to fight. Or at least my big sis did, anyway. Kathy's saying she could go for a margarita. And she's only diagnosed 2 weeks ago, so it's going to take a little while for you to get your head around it and work out a method that works for you to help you out. That's all I can say about it, because although I've had the conversations with Big Sis, without me physically going through it, I wouldn't be able to help you in any way come out with any ideas or any plans or anything like that. But Kath's here to have a go. She's saying she fully understands. It's all a lot to take in for her. It helped her to finally know why her body was behaving the way it was. Even if you can't cure it, you can learn to live with it. But that's the hard diagnosis to get. And Smirnoff is chuffed that she's now, well, she's happy, I should say, that she's now got a diagnosis to put with a name with it. And Kathy's saying, yeah, she commonly takes her bottle of gin with her to do the laundry. Well, you never know. Half paralytic teenage child, well, she's not quite, she's 21 now, but a half paralytic 21-year-old walking in with a bottle of that in one hand, detergent in the other, going, which one am I meant to be using? Just my luck she'd do it the wrong way and put the gin in the washing and the other one in her gob. Just don't take it to do the ironing, Kath. Yeah, there go your eyebrows. Alright, so Happy is heading off now. She's got to go to work. Got to go and get some work done. Have a wonderful day. And Smirnoff is saying, just don't drink the gin while you're doing a wool wash. Unless you want dolls' clothes. And take care, says Dodo to Happy. So bye bye, Happy. Thank you ever so much for joining us today, darling. We're on 3 o'clock. Have I talked your ears off enough yet, girls? Oh, and now I remember why I never use this mug. At some point I'm going to dribble water down here and you lot are going to accuse me of drinking vodka again. Right, who's up for another daft question? Kathy's saying, laugh out loud, Dodo. I don't iron. I'm quite lucky. I've got one of them Air Buddy things. So you just shake your washing, stick it on a coat hanger and shove it in there and turn the heat on. And it's like drying it out on the line. But because it's hung up on a coat hanger, the creases drop out. Or most of them do. So the creases drop out. And then all you've got to do is remember to wait for it to cool down before you get it out. Otherwise you're throwing your washing here, there and everywhere going, ow, ow, ow. But take it out, go straight in the wardrobe. At the end of the day, it's going to get creased in the wardrobe anyway, so why bother ironing it? Just buy stuff with lycra in. Looks nice and neat all the time. Alright, so let's scoot back down and... what have I done? There we go. Okay. I wonder if anyone will get this one. Now, this is a food, not the other take on the last word. Right, so this next question up is, which country is the largest producer of cheese? That is cheese the food. So, which country is the largest producer of cheese? I was quite shocked about this one, actually. Smirnoff is saying, laugh out loud, Kathy. We're kindred spirits. I couldn't tell where my iron is. I know exactly where my iron is. I've had my iron now for since I was 18. Okay, so over 20 plus years. Because my daughter's 21. Right, so about 25 years I've had this iron. It's been used. It was really used quite a lot when the kids were a lot younger, because they didn't get their stuff out of wardrobes and things and throw it around, so their clothes look neat. And I used to iron all of the clothing when we used to move to a new area. So literally I would unpack all the washing, like all the clean washing, iron it, put it away. That was the only time the stuff got ironed, was the first time into the drawers after a move. But then I realised that was a waste of time, because kids used to drag it out, throw it across the rooms, and it'd be creased, so why bother? So, yeah, my irons lasted longer than my husband's. My husband had an iron when we got together, and it was his iron. He used it for his kit, because he was in the army. So it was like, no, you use your iron for your stuff. I use my iron for everybody else's. His iron got worn out. It's been replaced about 3 or 4 times over while he had his career in the army. I've still got the first one. My first one cost me about 16 quid. Back in the 90s. And it's still going strong. Well, it would do if I took it out of the box. Because yeah, it's still got its box. How bad is that? It's going to be an antique, mate. I'm taking it up to... I'll be taking it somewhere to put it on show in about another 30 years. It can go alongside my Singer sewing machine that my gran gave me. That's still in its box. It's one of these little miniature ones. And it's still in the travel box that it came in. He's still got his cardboard, and it's still got its instructions. Although I don't understand them, they are in English. I've used it twice, I think. I tried to make my daughter some clothes, they fell apart, so I gave up. Yeah, so my ironing and my sewing are about the same, or at least they were using the Zinger. I've now got a posh one, but yeah, I don't use it that often. Oh, Smirnoff, what you like? Right, so Dodo says, nope, I still don't. I still have to iron it. Oh, what a waste of time. You could be crocheting, girl. Don't iron, crochet. Haha. Stick that on a t-shirt, Kath. Right, so we got a Kath saying she'll take the laundry out when it is still a bit damp, and then she hangs it on clothes hangers as well, and then lets it dry out. Shirts go to the lady that does it for her. Oh, you cheeky bug. Kath, hold on, Smirnoff is Netherlands, Holland. Kath, USA, Dodo, USA. Right, okay, I'm lost. Did I ask a question about where are you from? Okay, so Kath is saying that she only uses her iron when she's sewing. And Smirnoff saying she has a little diddy iron for when she sews. She hasn't done any sewing for a while. Is that one of those little mini ones? They're about that big. They are so cute. Smirnoff. And is it one you put on the fire to warm up? Not quite, no. Although my grandfather at one point did threaten to give me his... I was looking after my granddad and my grandmother. My gran was in hospital at the time, so I was looking after granddad, and he had Alzheimer's, or early onset Alzheimer's, I should say. One day I've gone to him, right, boy, we're going up to see mum. Like I used to call her mum certain times of the day. It would depend on where his memory was at. And so if he was calling me by my aunt's name, I used to talk about my grandmother as in she was my mum, and I would take on my aunt's role for a little bit until his brain clicked back in and he remembered I was his granddaughter. So I was saying to it, he was on a bit of a memory day where his memory weren't quite working and he thought I was my aunt. So I'd said to him, right, Dad, we're going to visit Mum later. Where's she hidden the iron? I said, so I can iron your shirt. And he grins and he comes out the kitchen with this iron. And honestly, it looked like it should have been put on the stove, but it had a plug attached. And I looked at it and I'm like, and what am I meant to do with this? I had him ironing his own shirt because I pretended that I was my aunt who didn't know how to iron anything. Although my aunt knows how to iron, at that point he saw me as an 18-year-old version of my auntie, so I managed to get him to do his own ironing. When we went up the hospital and I told my gran, she was sitting in bed cracking up going, that's the first time that boy's ironed since before he got married. Oh, I was asking about the cheese, wasn't I? Yeah, the question. Okay, I'll go back up to your answers. Alright, okay, so the winning answer for where was the cheese? Was it which country is the largest producer of cheese? Was the USA. So first come in with bragging rights was Catherine, and second up was our Dodo. So congratulations, girls, for bragging rights. Because if I remember rightly, I know Kath's definitely got a 7. Dodo, you've got yours too, I believe. If not, shout, I want my pattern. But otherwise, yeah, it was bragging rights. There's only a few of us left in, isn't there? So thank you for the memory jolt there, Smirnoff. Okay, so Kath is saying, Smirnoff, we really are kindred spirits. Yes, we are. Right, gang, we have done, what are we on, 1 o'clock? 2 hours of live chatting your ear rolls off. Have you had enough of me yet? Because really, I do need to get my tush in gear. I need to get over to Insta. I need to find out what their friend is so that I can make it, so that I can show you on Sunday's Whips, Bits and Chat. Otherwise, I'm just not going to get it done. Oh, so Kath actually learnt the information about the cheese is that over in America, she's learnt that £34 per head a year is made. And she's saying that's crazy. I really didn't think it would be America. I thought it was going to be somewhere else. I don't know why. I really don't. But I know that, like, we've got some beautiful cheese makers here in the UK. Some local cheese makers, absolutely gorgeous local cheese. And some very long established cheese making companies as well, who make like the big wheels of cheese. But I really didn't think it would be America, because half the time when you're over there, all you see is the fake plastic stuff. Sorry, Americans. Smirnoff is saying, never, don't leave. But she does need a wee. Well, you can leg it. I can only do it if I make excuses. Like, gotta go get a drink. Like I do when I go down the pub. Alright, okay, so let's do one last question for bragging rights of I got the last question correct. Let's see what I can find. Okay, which planet is called both the morning and the evening star? Oh, that sounds cute, doesn't it? So the question is, which planet is called both the morning and evening star? There we go. That is our last question for this evening. This evening? It will be by the time you lot let me off. Right. Where are we gone? And it's eaten. It's even crazier. And also, if you want to call it cheese. Yeah, we both pretty much said the same thing then, didn't we? Dodo saying Wensleydale with cranberries or apricots. Nom nom. I like the cranberry one. You can get that in Lidl's. No, Aldi's, sorry. You can get a Wensleydale in there. I went a bit doolally on it. I was buying it every flipping week. In the end, I had to put myself on a ban. Because not only did I buy it, I would eat the whole block to myself every week. Hubby's going, no, don't do that. It's meant to be a Christmas cheese. And I'm like, yeah, but I've had it for 5 weeks in a row. I don't need it for a Christmas cheese anymore. And Steph, welcome in, darling. I don't think all the cheese is over there, Kathy. It's just the cheese that we've had experience of, isn't it? It's the stuff that gets exported out, or that's more widely known. Right, so here we go. It answers to the question, and the question was, which planet is called both morning and evening star? Smirnoff comes in with Mars. Nope, have another guess, girl. Dodo saying hi, Steph. Then we got Kath in with Venus. Steph's in with Jupiter. Have another guess, girl. And Dodo is saying Mercury. Have another guess, girl. And Kathy's saying hi to Steph. And Dodo is saying she doesn't have Audi up in the north. Okay, try Lidl's. Try Lidl's. Otherwise, of course, it's one of the other big chain stores, isn't it? Smirnoff, Wensleydale isn't a planet or star. No, we're still talking cheese, mate. Like, this conversation's got so cheesy. Oh dear. And then Smirnoff is in with Venus. Alright, so we've only got a couple of girls in now, haven't we? So yes, the first person to get that again with bragging rights is our gorgeous Kath. And the answer was Venus. She knows me. I just skip her answer if she gets it correct, and I read the next one underneath. Just on the off chance. Right, so congratulations, darling. You can now brag. Yeah, you got it right. With Venus. No, she's now going to name them all, just in case. Oh no, yes, they downgraded it, didn't they? Evil, sadistic toe rags. They're saying apparently Venus is an inferior planet. Poor thing will get a complex. Kath has to come in with her favourite at the end. Uranus! And Marshall, hopefully I'm saying that correct, darling. She's saying hello to everybody. Smirnoff's cheating. She's saying credit to Alexa. Congratulations, Alexa. Alexa, turn off the lights. And Kathy's saying Neptune. There you go, all the possibilities, she says. Well, you got it right on your first guess, woman. And Telpen has said that she brought her Wensleydale from Iceland last week. Okay, so here's a quick one for you. Let's make it up as I go. Which a cartoon or film uses a Wensleydale as a promotional aid? Hopefully that makes some sort of sense to you. Don't get me to type it. And who should I be getting shares in? Nick, if you're watching, mate, I want shares or a job for my daughter. Okay, says Smirnoff, I'm now in the dark. I wonder if that's really true. I wonder if it did work. And Kathy's saying it wasn't a guess. Sneaky, sneaky. Next time she's wearing headphones. It could be worse. We could decide what tunes you're going to listen to through it. Dodo, you have got yourself bragging rights, babes, with a Wallace and Gromit. Smirnoff, wrong trousers, that'll do ya. There's a few of them to choose from, isn't there? Yeah, the creator of that is Nick Park, and he, I think the studios aren't too far away from here, I suppose, and it would be really, really cool if I could get my hands on him and go, give my kid a job. 'Cause I think she would absolutely excel there. Excel. Smirnoff is saying, yes, it did work. Okay. So, should we torment her? Or shall I torment... I can't believe it worked. Smirnoff, whereabouts in the country is your accent from? I'm wondering, are you a southeast girl? And is that why it worked? Because it picked up on my weirdness of my voice. Because normally, mine won't work. We've got one. Well, I don't think it's Alexa, it's one of the other ones. But it's trained to my husband's voice, so I can't get it to work, thankfully. No, Kath, I am not reading that one out. No, that's evil. You lot will all have to read that because I can't read that. I'm not that way inclined. I won't get to spend money. Tormentor with dodgy music. Christmas music. Alexa, play All I Want for Christmas. No, she's going to turn it off. She knows the threat was already there. She's turned it off. Those things are lethal. My friend Emma that comes up on here sometimes, I think she is under Can't Crochet, Won't Crochet at the moment, or she might have changed it to something else, and she probably has, and then she changed it back and all the rest of it. Her son's got one, and I said to her, I said, oh, have you heard what's been going on? And she said, what? And I said, well, people with this particular make of voice recognition are getting woken up at like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning with creepy laughing. That was it. Em is cracking up. She's gone, I've got to do it, I've got to do it, I've got to do it. So she put an alarm. Luckily it was during like school holidays. She put an alarm on it, on her son's one, for creepy death scream or something. And the kid woke up, nope, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and just shout out, Mum, you evil git, because she's like us. And she does do some really random stuff. She picks on them boys, but they get her back. They'll do stuff to her. So you're in Wolverhampton, but you're better spoken than the average black country girl. I'm an Essex girl. So I've noticed lately that when I first started doing these lives and doing my videos, I was trying to be all prim and proper. Now I've given up. And I'm just, well, it depends on what mood I'm in to how naughty I am and how my conversation is. I try and... It depends on who is in as well. If I know that the girls that are in are as warped as me, I'm normally safe and I'm a lot more naughty. Like I was last night. I was proper naughty. And I hadn't been drinking, and I wasn't drinking, and I really should have done, because then I'd have had a good excuse. So Kathy's saying it always reminds her of the voice-controlled elevator in Scotland. I forgot they had one of them. Never used one. I don't think I would trust it myself. And Smirnoff is saying, yep, now I have All I Want playing, but not the version I know. Oh, is it? Oh, it's just been has it been re-released with some dodgy new singer? Just turn it off. Steph has got requests coming in. Okay, right. Let's give this one a go. She's going to leave us. She won't come back because we're picking on her. Alexa, play All I Want a Hippopotamus. Start again. Alexa, play I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas. I'm going to have to say that one to the one in the office for when hubby gets back tomorrow, because he's away. He's overnight. He's out collecting parts. So I'm going to have to set that up so that when he comes home it plays randomly. Laugh out loud, Steph. That's a double whammy. One from Ange and one from Smirnoff. And Dodo says she's been wrecking everyone's heads with that song. It's fine. It's fun. Yeah, we should definitely turn it off now. I won't do it anymore, I promise. I'll be a good girl for at least 5 minutes. I'm trying to think. There was another song that was doing the rounds when my kids were younger, and a friend introduced them to it. And it was about a duck that went into a shop and wanted grapes, but every shop they went into didn't sell grapes, it sold something else. It was like hairdressers. And that went on for a while. And then there was one about a unicorn and a cloud, and there was a 10-hour version of it. And there was a 10-hour version of the duck, and a 10-hour version of this, and a 10-hour version of that. That was my first venture out on YouTube, and I was like, oh, I don't think I want to come back here. It scares me. Smirnoff is saying, oh, I just continued playing the last song. Too much pause between play and the song name. Oh no. Hold on, where are we? Alexa, cancel song requests. Hopefully that works. I don't actually know how to use the thing. I really don't. Hopefully that worked. So Michelle, I'm rubbish. I'm sorry, darling. She's saying that she loves my Christmas tree. Thank you ever so much, darling. The smaller patterns here have been shown on my 12 Days of Christmas this year that have gone out in the last couple of weeks. These ones are other creators' patterns. This one I just knocked up after seeing a picture. I was like, I'll have a go at that. So that is my pig in a blanket. And this hat is the Reggie's hat, Reggie at J Hook Crochet. That is one of her hat patterns. Of course, that is also linked in on the 12 Days of Christmas. She's in one of the videos, and the link to that pattern is on that video. And then this one is the face, and that pattern has gone live this week over on the Ravelry shop. It's only a couple of quid. It's more of there as a support pattern if you fancy supporting me and the channel, and then grab that pattern because it's such a small price. I've got a couple like that that are low priced, just more of a I want to support a channel, and you can do it that way. Yes, I know about that one as well. Smirnoff is saying there is a 10-hour version of a song about hobbits somewhere on YouTube. Wasn't that remade with, or not remade, but they remastered the song by Leonard Nimoy, who was Spock in the original Star Trek, because he sang a song back in the 70s, I think it was, about Bilbo Baggins from The Hobbit. And what they've done is they've remastered it. repeat. Okay, Smirnoff is saying, yeah, I've just read that one. And also try telling to sing a rock song. It's hilarious. I'm not going to do it to her. I've just hopefully cancelled it for her. Kathy's saying hobbits. Jake, yeah, Bilbo Baggins and oh, was it Hobbits? The Hobbits, Lord of the Rings series trilogy. And that's what it's based off of. And you're bound to know about hobbits and that, because that's where some of our Reggie's pattern names came from, because she likes that trilogy too, including the Christmas hat that I can't pronounce. Hence why I keep saying it. It's Reggie's hat pattern. Yep, that's the one, Ange. Cool. It's alright, I'm trying to work out what that last word is, Smirnoff. She's saying, yep, they're taking the hobbits to something or other. I'm thinking that might be iceberg. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, darling. I don't. It's bouncing again. Right, but she says, that's the one, Ange, so I must have got it right with Lord of the Rings. Makes a change for me. I was watching that one actually. Kath is saying on one of Reggie's lives, her children were getting really upset with Alexa for not playing what they asked, but they were also saying it in German, and then Alexa couldn't understand. Reggie ain't daft. She's learned how to set up them controls so the kids can't have control over it. Did you see the one where the kids were also not upset because the electric Hoover, she's got one of them remote controlled Hoovers that you set it going in on certain times, it wasn't coming out to play with the kids, and the kids weren't happy. There was that one made me giggle. Marshall saying, now thank you for letting me know. I've started watching the 12 Days of Christmas. I just have to remember to leave a message. Yeah, always leave a message if you can, even if it's just a couple of smiley faces. That's a cheeky way for you to also, if you're going back on looking at older videos, it means then that when you look, you can check for the comment section, And if your comment pops up, you know you've watched that video recently, or since it's been out, so that means you don't have to rewatch it again and waste time rewatching unless you want to. That's what I do anyway. That's why I pop comments in. And it also means then that the YouTube bots don't kick you off for being inactive on the channel. Even if you join in on every single live that a creator puts out, if you don't comment on one of their videos, normally it still doesn't, it may not count you. Okay, you're going to get me to say it, aren't you? You're going to try. Kathy's saying that she's the one that came up with the name for the Ravendale. Ravendale. No, deal. Oh. The Christmas hat. The words in chat. Okay. Alright, okay, the place in Middle-earth. That's why I couldn't pronounce it. Yep. I'm not going to attempt it, honeys. It's all foreign to me. It's where the White Tower is. No, I recognise the word. It's just getting it out of here. From here, I should say, and out of here. It's gone in fine, and I've read it fine, and I know what it says, but it's getting it back out I can't do today. Yes, that's a good thing, Smirnoff. She's saying, question for you, Kath. Books or film? And is that reading it yourself or audio on the books? I've tried reading the books, but it got a bit too hard for me with the memory issues. So it doesn't sink in after about a page and a half. So I'd have to read the same thing about 5 or 6 times to get it to sink in. Whereas I can sit and listen to an audio book and it sinks in. Or I can sit and watch the film and I get the gist of it. So I preferred the audio book because it was the closest I could get to the book. So the audio book first, and then of course the film second. Kathy's saying she liked both. It's one of the rare ones where she thinks they've done a good job on the films, although some of her favourite bits were left out. Oh, okay, so that was the shawl. I didn't think it was the hat. The hat's after one of the spiky-eared guys, isn't it? Yeah, I do. I must admit, I do find that normally books are a lot better because they're more in depth and you read more into them than what you can watching the film, because you've got your own personal take on a film, on a book, and then somebody else has got their own personal view, and it's just whether they match up when it comes to the film itself, or whether they've actually got enough time to be able to put everything from the book in it, which they never really can. Smirnoff has said that she read the first books when she was 15. She's read and watched and listened. And Kath has said she's read, listened and watched. Yep, she's a geek. Sorry, I'm reading the comments the wrong way round, aren't I? Oh, but yeah, the books are normally better than the films. Yeah, I must admit they are. Another one I liked. This is going to be a bit strange. I actually managed to read Misery by I'll get there in a minute. No, he's gone. I remembered the name and now I've forgotten the writer. But basically there is the film out there called Misery, and it's about a writer who gets caught out in the sticks on a winter's night and rescued by a lady who happens to be a nurse, and she nurses him back to health, and turns out she's a bit of a psycho called Kathy. Sorry, Kath. And it's about how he escapes from this psycho woman. And I've got the book upstairs on the bookshelf still, and I still can't think of his name. Stephen King. There we go. So it was one of Stephen King's, and the difference between the way that it was portrayed in the book, in the way when I read it, it was a lot darker than what the film was. And then when it came to a certain part of it where she lost her anger and took it out on him so that he couldn't escape, in the book it was really graphic, but when it came to the film, of course, they couldn't do what was written in the book at that point in time with CGI. Whereas they probably could now, and everyone would ask for it to be banned because it was so gross. Alright, well, we got Kathy saying, with the Harry Potter, I don't understand how anyone who hasn't read the book understands the film. I think that's because they take it at face value for the film. I think the films are pretty good as standalones. It's mainly built on hype though, isn't it, for those? I watched the films way before I attempted to read the books. And I've still only got to the end of book number 4. I haven't done book number 5 yet. I read them one year when we went over to Australia. I had my Kindle and I realised I could change the colours on the screen, so it meant that I could read it without the words bouncing. And next thing I knew, I'd read Harry Potter, the first one, on the plane ride over. 2 and 3 were sitting around the pool instead of getting in the jacuzzi. I was sitting listening out for the kids while the rest of the adults were getting paralytic. And then at number 4, I finished off on the plane on the way home, and I was like, oh, I just got to get to number 5. I haven't bothered yet, and that was about 6 or 8 years ago. Right, so Dodo is heading off. She's saying, thank you, Angela, and everyone in chat. Take care, see you later. And Kathy's saying, okay, you're the bigger geek. No, there's only certain things that I like, and certain things. Otherwise, if it's something that doesn't interest me, that's it. It doesn't interest me. Not bothered. Right, we've got. I'm gonna have to call you Janie, darling. Sorry for separating up your name slightly. She's saying hello from Arizona in the USA. So welcome in, darling. Very nice to see you. A new channel member. New crazy to the gang, I hope. Oh, yeah, I've not risked Hannibal. And Kathy's saying, yes, that there are kinds of... the kind of stuff is worse in books because it's your mind. She read Hannibal, and there were times she had to put it down because it was getting too sick. It was getting sick. Yeah, I saw the book after I saw the film, and I was just like, nah, not doing that one. Which book was it that I really, really liked over the film? Oh, it was Vampire. It's old Vampire, though. None of this new flouncy lark. Interview with a Vampire. I really enjoyed that one. And Sookie Stackhouse Adventures. That is True Blood. What the TV series True Blood was based on. And I really enjoyed the books to that as well. I could not put them down. I was reading them at the school gates. There's about 14 of them in the set, mind. But those ones I found really, really good when I read them. But then I think they're more for the teenagers rather than our age group. But then that's just where, at that point in time, that's where my reading ability was up to. I've had to work. I have to work on it, don't I? So, right. So Dodo's heading off. It was the first book to make you jump. I haven't actually read that one. Oh, the first one of his I read was 12 Past Midnight, but I only read the first book, and I can't tell you what it's called because I can't actually pronounce it correctly. Or I should say I learnt the word through reading, and of course I read it wrong, so it's definitely not the right one. So I read that one, and then of course I read Misery. And I've had a couple of attempts at Pet Sematary as well. But then I got bored. I noticed that there was a pattern to his books, and once I've read the books, it's like, no, forget it. If there's too much, if it's the same sort of thing time and time again, I give up. And to me, his was. Oh no, you're joking, Kath. Oh no, that is a shame. So Annie Rice has just passed away. When did that happen? I've pretty much read all of hers. I went on a massive I love her writing, I'm going to read everything bender about, it must have been about 6 to 8 years ago now though. Jaws the movie was better than the book, says Janie. Yeah, okay, maybe not then. I've been told off by Kath. Okay, it's for us adults. The C2C Blankets Adventure, she's saying, with all that naughty stuff in it, is definitely for us and not the teenagers. Oh, it was this week that we lost Annie Rice. Oh, that is such a shame. I'm going to have a nose in the and see what else she has released so that I can catch up with the stuff that I'd missed. But yeah, absolutely a beautiful writer she is. Bit naughty writer, but absolutely beautiful writer. Characters are really, really good. But yeah, that is a shame. Pants. Right, let me think. Should we do... I know I'd said the last one was the last one, but we've got a couple of new guys in. We're just doing these questions today for fun, rather than for prize, but we'll stick out another question and see if we can go out on a happy, and then we'll call it time. Okay, so let me see what we got. Right, let's see if you can remember this. We should all know this off by heart, but it's a bit of a count up the letters. All right. Luckily, I've got the answer, so I'm fine. Right. So the question is, which one of the 7 dwarfs has the longest name? That is, which one of the 7 dwarfs has the longest name? Now, please remember, this is for bragging rights only today. But have a guess. Guess as many times as you like. There is 7 possible answers. But which one has the most letters? Okay, so Kath is saying, where we gone, that she wants to reread The Southern Vampires again. It's another series she'd read, listened to and watched. The Southern Vampires, who was that written by, darling? Do you remember? Smirnoff, I have not heard of them at all, but then I haven't heard of a great deal of books, to be honest. She's saying that she... where is it gone? Her favourite books are still the Belgrade and Malian series by David Eddings. As I said, I've probably completely mulled the name there. Alright, so here we go. We have got some guesses coming in. I'm going to read these out of sequence, by the way, because there's only 4 of you, so keep throwing them around. We've got a not doc, says Kath, giggling. Smirnoff is cheating with that I'm having a happy. You can't add extra names in, especially not with that undertone, you cheeky toe rag. So we've got, what have we got? We got a sleepy, we got 2 bashfuls, and of course the not doc and I'm having a happy. Oh right, okay, I forgot that was see what I mean? I can remember certain bits, but I can't remember all of them, Kath. She's saying Southern Vampires is the official name of the C2C Blankets / True Bloods. Yeah, the True Bloods really weren't that true to the books, were they, in the end? Once I'd read the books, it was like, okay, these 2 are just standalones. All they've done is nicked a couple of character names out. And that's about it. You really are trying to push the boundary. You just want the bragging rights today, don't you, Kath? So Kath has come with Grumpy Grum. Right, we have had the winner on this one. It was Bashful. So the very first person that came out with that on my screen was our gorgeous Susan. So congratulations, darling. As I said, it was just for bragging rights today. And something for us to go out with a bit of a giggle on, as I've been going for over 2 hours. Because normally by now I'd have already gone to pick up the kid. So an hour ago. Luckily she's upstairs, I hope. I hope I haven't left her at school. Right. As I'm actually going to be signing off now. That is a new one to me, Janie. I'm not too sure if that was in reply to the question or not. Yeah, Kath, in regards to C2C Blankets / True Blood, yep, fully agree with you there. She's saying you really have to be able to let go of the books if you want to watch it, like she said earlier. All that was used were the names, and even then they got some of them wrong. No, she didn't walk Liam, did she? I forgot about that. Right, I've definitely got to watch it now. And then get Rob back on it again. That is going to freak him out when he sees it. Right, so yeah, bragging rights there, Susan. And she's saying, woohoo, thank you. Right, as I said, I am going to head off today. But before I do go, I best give you a little bit of a reminder. And where is it? I haven't got the info in front of me. Okay, let's see if I can do it from memory. Right, over on my Ravelry shop at the moment, on Kath's it's not Ravelry. Oh, what is it, Kath? Over on Kath's shop and over on Reggie at J Hook Crochet. All three of us at the moment are offering a 15% off on our code and other gorgeous items that they stock. I only do patterns. They do gorgeous stuff. So over on their side, the shops, you can get the 15% off if you use the code, all capital letters, Happy Hooker. That's all right. All capital letters, Happy Hooker. I will have it written in the description box for you so you can do a cheeky copy and paste. Thanks, Kath. It's her Etsy shop and it's Reggie's Etsy as well. I always get confused, but it's Reggie's Etsy, Kath's Etsy and my Ravelry. Okay, so for that 15% off, you can use it on all three of the shops and get yourself something cute for Christmas. Right, I am definitely going to be heading off now. I will see you all really, really soon. So if you can, please stay in and definitely stay safe. Ta-ra for now, everybody. And thank you ever so much for joining me or watching all the way along to the end of the replay. Ta-ra. Oh, Hooker's holiday, she's popped it in the chat just in time. Thank you ever so much, darling. Alright, as I said, I will see you all again soon. Thank you for joining. Ta-ra for now.